a recommendation to give to the city council when we get there. At this time, I call the meeting to order. If you would stand for the invocation to be given by Councilman Robbins, and then we will have the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, just thank you for this day, dear Lord. We just thank you for allowing us to be here on the adult tonight, dear Lord. And I pray that we can conduct city business in a professional manner and make the correct decisions for the betterment of this city and its citizens, dear Lord. Just pray that you be with those tonight that are sick and afflicted and struggling with ailments, dear Lord. And we just pray that you just bless our troops out there, dear Lord. Bless our country and bless forever. We love and praise you. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we have roll call. Councilman here. Councilman here. Councilman Franklin here. Councilman Robbins
Here.
here. You have the minutes of the September 8th meeting that was sent to you electronically. When you're ready, we will accept a motion to approve the minutes. For which one? For September the 8th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
Okay, it has been moved that we accept the minutes as presented. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott? Yes. Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
The next item is to approve the special call meeting minutes of September the 29th.
I make a motion that we accept these minutes.
Thank you. It's been moved that we accept the minutes as presented. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott? Yes. Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
In your packet, you have the accounts payable. When you're ready, I will accept a motion to accept these as presented and to pay bills as needed. Page 2, you will notice that we do have an audit expense from Gibson and Carton from the two financial statements you got at our last meeting.
Grove Street project and First Street, that project, never for completed.
They've been completed and everything's been turned in, but we've not received all the reimbursements.
What about the gym?
That's still ongoing project. They're putting the flooring in.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable.
We have, it's been moved that we receive the accounts payable and permission to pay bills, Councilman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do we have a second? I second. Have a second, any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Patton,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilman Abbott, Councilman Franklin,
Yes.
Councilman Robbins.
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is Resolution 2025-1013, comprehensive plan that will be read to us by Tori.
Resolution 2025-1013, City of Royal, Alabama, adoption of the Royal Comprehensive Plan. Whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Royal, Alabama has engaged in extensive studies of the City of Royal and adopted the City of Royal Comprehensive Plan, which it deems necessary for purposes of promoting the health, safety, and general welfare of the City of Royal. And whereas the Royal Planning and Zoning Commission has recommended adoption of the City of Royal Comprehensive Plan by the Royal City Council, and whereas all requirements of the laws of the state of Alabama with regard to preparation and discussion of said City of Royal Comprehensive Plan have been met. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Royal, Alabama, that the document entitled the City of Royal Comprehensive Plan and all official maps pertaining thereto are hereby adopted to serve as a guide for the long-range growth and development of the city, adopted this 13th day of October 2025.
Do we have a motion to accept it as presented?
I give that motion.
It has been moved that we accept Resolution 2025-1013. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Patton,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilman Abbott,
Yes.
Councilman Franklin,
Yes.
Councilman Robbins.
Yes.
Thank you, and I know the Planning and Zoning Commission thanks you too. The next item is Avenu Renewal. For those of you who do not know, that is a party that collects all of our taxes and they do all of our business license and everything. There is a contract that we need to sign, and this comes about every 3 years. Ever since I've been on the city council since 2016, this is the same company that has been used. They collect our taxes and they take care of all of our business The Florella Historical Society will be curator and caretaker of the museum and will be responsible for manning or securing volunteers to operate the museum and welcome center. When the museum welcome center is ready to open to the public, the days and hours of operation will be recommended by the Florella Historical Society to the mayor and city council for approval. This partnership agreement remains in effect for a term of 3 years, commencing from the signing of this agreement by the mayor and certified by the city clerk. At the conclusion of 3 years, a new agreement will be renegotiated. In the event the Historical Society ceases to exist, the city of Florella assumes all responsibility for the museum and welcome center and the contents therein. Approved this 13th day of October 2025 by a majority vote of the city council. Do I hear recommendation to accept this partnership agreement?
I give that recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? They, at their meeting, requested no money. Any other questions or discussions? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Boswell.
Yes.
Councilman Carter.
Yes.
Councilman Allen. Yes. Councilman Franklin.
Yes.
Councilman Robbins.
Yes.
Thank you so much. The next thing in your packet is Ski Production Incorporated new microphones for the auditorium. As all of you know, we've not been able to stream our council meetings because every time we turned the microphones on that we had music play. Well, these are microphones that are here are on loan from Ski Productions. In your packet, you have a recommendation from him to purchase new microphones. And these, like this one tonight, there's no on and off switch. The only one that has one is the one that Councilwoman Franklin has right there. And so this would include the installation of them, and they would have off and on switches, and they would be of the same quality sound as these are here. Do I hear, does anyone move to accept this recommendation for $1,050 for microphones?
I made that motion.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Boswell.
Yes.
Councilman Carter.
Yes.
Councilman Allen.
Yes.
Councilman Franklin.
Yes.
Councilman Robbins.
Yes.
Thank you. The next item that we have, and this came about because Cancer Free Ski wanted to put in some wiring and so forth and so on down at the Rodney J. Evans building, so that when he does all the sound system for Cancer Freeze and everything, and while he was down there, it was mentioned the possibility of getting the city getting their own sound system down there, the city being able to have wireless speakers when they're down there, because as all of you know, we have an issue down there. But I'm going to let Councilwoman Avenu is our liaison down there. She was down there, met with our lake manager, and met with Randy Light, which he is Ski Productions Incorporated.
Well, we had talked to him about doing the sound system down there, but since then I have talked to Otis, and he thinks that we need to kind of put that in the back burner, because we've got some other projects that we need to work on, so I think we're gonna table that right now. I mean, the price was $6,725, which is not bad for what all he's gonna do, but I just think we need to not do it right now.
Okay, then is that, you need to make a motion to that effect then.
I make a motion that we table this down the road
am not here on behalf of Cancer Fruit at all. They have not asked me to be here. My only affiliation with Cancer Fruit is a personal affiliation in that I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I found the event this last year, the first one I attended, to be very inspired. That between lumpectomy and radiation, when that event occurred, and it really, there was something magical there. Now that's a magic that I think spreads itself, and I really believe that if you do good, good comes back to you. So my request that I'm making tonight is based off of more of a marketing standpoint. I believe that for a marketing purposes, the city of Florida should donate that building, the rental for that building, to Cancer Free. That would cover 3 days during February as a act of support of the event itself. I understand there are a lot of charity events that happen here, but this is an event that draws in 1,000 or more prospective renters. Now, in attending that event last year, it was not intuitive to me that that building was available for rent, which means it was not intuitive to a large portion of people who were from out of Corral that that building is available for rent. Yes, there is a sign on the door, but if you didn't notice that sign, you wouldn't know. Cancer Freeze announced and said that they appreciated Corral for sponsoring the event. However, it would have carried a whole lot more weight if they could have said, thank you, City of Florida, for donating this wonderful facility, the rental of this wonderful facility to us. That would have triggered to all these people, not only is the facility available for rent, but that the city had donated something to Cancer Freeze. Completely unrelated, but I purchased a golf cart this year for Bama. I purchased that golf cart from them specifically because they donate to Cancer Freeze. So I think that it is a strong possibility that people who were there at Cancer Freeze might actually seek out this facility because it was donated to Cancer Freeze. It's worth trying because for the last 3 years, charging them hasn't turned profit, hasn't brought any more rentals. So I'm requesting that we give it to them, donate it to them, and see if that doesn't bring any rentals. The second part of my request is I'm requesting that we give them an option of 2 additional days throughout the year. Now, these 2 additional days would be used for the 2 events they host, the Easter egg hunt and the back to school event. The Ronnie J. Evans building is not their primary location, and they would not utilize it unless it was a weather washout. In the event of the fact that they had a weather washout like they did for the back to school event, they would be able to utilize one of these 2 options to use that building. The reason I'm requesting that is because those 2 events benefit only our city. And if we were to lose them, it would hurt only our children. Thank you very much for hearing me out.
Thank you. If you look in your packet to the back, the revenue and expenses for the Rodney J. Evans are there for the last 3 years. If you can find those, and there's also the sales tax overview on Cancer Freeze and for the Masons. So it should be back there, close to the back where your financial information is. Let's look at that before we give you an opportunity to act on Ms. Luckett's request to you. I'll wait till everyone finds it. We have it. Our city bookkeeper brought this together for us. In year 2023, the rental income for Rodney J. Evans was $11,540. And then you can see that the different things that were spent, the cost for the building was $12,912.85 for a loss of $1,372.85. Now, you do see Alabama Power was there, the cleaning service was there. That does not include any supplies or insurance that the city council and the city is required on that building. It also does not include any salaries or fixed charges for any of the employees. All of the staff down there works at an 8-hour day, usually beginning before 7 a.m. They have to be down there. If we did that this year, I looked at it today, just their salary that day without fixed incomes would be over $600. So looking at year 24, you can see that the rental income was $7,800. did not include the other things I had mentioned. If you look at 2025, you can see the revenue income was $12,735. The cost to the city was $38,095.18, which included purchasing 2 new AC units. If you were down there for the back to school bash, you know why we had to do that. That's a loss of $25,360.18. We did not stop there. If you will look at the sales tax revenue, we looked at the same 3 years. Well, it was looked at for more than that. If you look at the sales tax overview for Cancer Freeze, we looked at the months before and after Cancer Freeze. In January, our sales tax in 2020 was $63,473.89. In February, it was lower, $54,615. In March, it went back up to $56,000. You can see the same thing in January, February, and March. Now, it was higher in 21 in February than it was in March, but not in January. The same thing if you look on down to 22, 23, 24, and 25. And if you look at the Masonic celebration, we did the same years there. And as you can see, in June of 2020, there was a much higher there that was investigated, and we found out that it was because a business came into town. They bought a lot of equipment, and that it was a higher revenue. But other than that, there's not any significance. As you can look at the bottom, no significant sales tax advantage during the 24th of June months as compared to the months before and after, except for 2023, and the same thing for Cancer Freeze, no significant sales tax advantages during Cancer Freeze months as compared to months before and after. So see, we shared all this information with Ms. Lucky when she came in, and it's only fair that you have the same information as you make a decision in regards to this request by Ms. Luckett. Well, first of all, we need a motion, we need a second, and then we can make any comments. So is there a motion to reduce Cancer Freezes or allow them to use it free of charge 3 days a year with the option of 2 more days?
I make a motion at the table that. And so we can hear from the council, like you said, at the council free. And I know in the past, we used to do, if she wanted to free, they would come to the council and ask for it. If they wanted free, we always give it to them, but we ask for free, but they haven't done that in the last 2 years. But I make a motion to table that to give it council free.
And I know we don't have a second yet, but I would like to respond to that. If you table this, then it's just going to come back up again. And the reason that this format is the way it is now is we had a group of citizens who were in a leadership class that said, you know, we have a few nonprofits in this community that gets everything free. We think that every nonprofit, every church, and our schools should all be treated the same. So therefore, an agreement was done by a former city councilwoman, Ms. Hazel Lee, and people in the leadership class that has been approved by the city council. So we already have a Rodney J. Avenu agreement in place. So you're asking to table it. Why do you want to table it?
Because I don't think we have all the information to give them give it to them free. We don't have to table it. I just withdraw my motion to table it.
All right, the motion has been removed. She stated in the beginning that this was not Cancer Freeze's idea. This was something that she brought to the table because she's very passionate about it. I appreciate people who are very passionate about people. But do we have a motion discussion?
Yes, ma'am, on this, the reason I think that it's lower is because more people are giving to cancer freeze. Everything they're eating and everything's going to cancer freeze. I think that's one reason why it's so much lower, is because all the money is going to cancer freeze.
Which is a wonderful thing.
It's very much so, but you know, when you eat, you know, everybody tries to eat down there and do all of that stuff down there and they get the money. So I think that's one reason why it's lower on cancer freeze.
Okay. Any other discussion or comments?
Yes.
Okay.
Cancer freeze is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But if we do cancer freeze, we're gonna have to do the 24th of June, like the mayor said, we're gonna have to do this one, we're gonna have to do that one. I just, and you brought up, well, if they're not here, we can't do the back to school bash. We can have the back to school bash. You know, I think we're opening ourselves up for a can of worms, because it's not fair to do one, and we're not gonna do the other people.
Okay, any other discussion?
How many organizations use it every year, like cancer freeze and Masons?
There are several, a lot of churches use it.
Well, I mean, they use it every single year for it?
Mhm.
Okay.
There are a lot of churches that have traditions of being there for different things. The Carver Community Center does a gala every year. There are lots of organizations that use it on every year. Any other comments or discussions?
So yeah, 2 years ago when I came into this seat, I would have told you if this came up in a meeting, I would have said yes to it. My heartbeat wouldn't have thought twice about it. But I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, and I've seen it with my own 2 eyes, and I've been in this situation. If we give this cancer freeze, there will be more, and they will want to know why they can't have it for free. So we either stick to the reduced price that we've already given, which is extremely cheap for that building, for the nonprofits, or we just give it to every nonprofit for it. That's the only options you got. Now, I would not be for that, but that's the only 2 options you got. You can't do for one and not do for the other. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And, I mean, I hate it, but it's just the way it is.
Thank you. Any other
Yeah, I
comments?
just want to say that, Cancer Free is a great organization. I kind of feel like, Evans, I mean, they have a lot of people here in Florella, but, I'm gonna have to say no, because I don't want, you know, to give it to them free, and then Carver wants for free, and then this one wants for free, in the city, you know, we have to, Cancer Free help me and my family out. I mean, you know, I was just happy, you know, they're a wonderful organization. You don't have to say no to that, because fair is fair.
We're thankful for Cancer Freeze Week, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Any other comments before we call for the vote?
Maybe it'd be possible, like, next year, we can get the committee back together and do some brainstorming, figure out some ways to help. In other words, because Cancer Freeze is a wonderful organization, but I agree with everyone up here, there's too much negative to go to do that. I'm afraid we would really hit the backlash of it.
And I want to give compliments to Ms. Luckett. She has been advertising, promoting, doing pictures of the Ronnie J. Evans building. Listen, not only does she ask for things, but she's also promoting. She's not going to ask for anything that she's not willing to take a hand in and do, and I appreciate that. Any other comments before we call for the vote?
I have one more thing.
Okay.
Moving forward in the future, I would consider Cancer Freeze a tourist attraction to the town.
Of
And there
course.
are tourism grants that we have availability to, and I
Yes.
think it would be worth us looking into assisting in that matter, because they are a tourist attraction. And that's one thing they have over others, so, I would recommend that in the future.
Okay, any other comments?
The last one, me myself personally, if they are charged, I would even pay for their charges, so that, you know, that discount charge would be something I would give back to them for what they gave to me, when I'm standing in front of old models, so.
That's
it.
awesome, thank you. Any other comments? Call for the vote, please.
struggle to safely position trucks for freight drop-off. The Family Dollar dumpster is located behind the store, and employees use pallet jacks to take the trash out. With the blockade, pallets can't pass through, and employees are forced to hand carry items one by one, and this results in added labor costs and increases the risk of injury. I also like to talk about the safety concerns. Many of our customers arrive on foot, and in case of an emergency, such as a threat or medical event, the passway is the safest and fastest exit. The blockade currently blocks 95% of that route, creating a choke point that could delay escape, increase risk of harm, prevent emergency personnel from accessing the area. I do understand that we had it closure prior to that, but it was only temporary due to a nearby building reconstruction. And we cooperated with that closure in good faith. However, now this appears to be a permanent thing, and we are seeking action. I also want to talk about the community benefit. Our store serves local community with affordable goods and provides local employment. We are committed to safety, efficiency, and being a good neighbor. We ask the city to support our ability to serve the community safely and effectively. We respectfully request that the blockade be removed and the passway be reopened to through traffic immediately. Thank you for your time and consideration. We're confident that reopening the passway will benefit employees, delivery workers, and the community at large.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to ask our Public Works Director to come up and give us the information regarding this. And council, you have a map there. For any of you that were in the back, there was a map. And we appreciate your being here, Mr. Chris Jackson. She's asking that that be removed. All right, talk over to you.
Ultimately, that's going to fall down to the council, but just to clarify information from factual, that has never been a legal road, and it has never been city property in that aspect. There are 3 lots that join that, and that's one that belongs to Stephen Elliott, Covington County Baptist Association, and Robert Bush. And a prime example of this is if you look at that map, the smallest little kind of rectangular shape is right there on technically what would be the West 35. In the early 90s, that gentleman come put a post up in the middle of that. And for years, it was not city property, there was nothing we could do because we only owned past that point. So finally we converted him to let us do that. I was a police officer at the time. So we allowed us accessibility for our emergency vehicles. But that truly is only anything behind the building has always been a parking lot. In 1974, it was basically deeded over to the city from the Florida Housing Authority. It was a parking lot at the time for police cars, rescue at the time. The fire department used to park in the front. So what you do is up to you. That is city property from the back corner of there all the way up to 4th Street. Most of that's rented out by y'all. Y'all have LA Graphics in one corner of it, which they don't have a problem with it. They don't want big trucks coming through their customer park. And then you've got people that own a written Phoenix Milling and Distilling. They're trying to raise customers there. So ultimately, it's according to what you want to look at. As far as safety issues, I can understand them wanting more clearance, maybe a little bit back there so they get back to trucking and drop ramps. I can understand them maybe want to have access to the dumpster. I'm not arguing that point, but closing off part of that, I can see that because if you're running a business down there, you don't want an 18-wheeler trying to finagle through there. The radius turn between the 4th Street and the awning that comes off the court is probably 2 foot clear. And what that means is when you turn an 18-wheeler in there and you start back around, based on the length of that truck, you're only going to be 2 foot off the awning of the courthouse, or it used to be the courthouse. So that's up for y'all to decide, but that's just a factual information.
But what you're saying, that is a parking lot, and that's all that it
That
is.
has always been a legal parking lot when it was first given to us in 1970.
Is there any way though that we can give them to move it a little bit, we give them a little bit more
Thank you.
access? To give them a little bit more access to get to their stuff and do that kind of stuff?
That's what I'm saying, is that's up to the city council to make that decision, you know, you could probably move that back, give them clear to the dump. But as far as the 18 will actually enter into that way, that, they backed up, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, but they backed up since I've been here in the city of Nikki was with me, and they were pulling it back up. I do understand the point though, whenever you have rock the block or something blocking up fits, what are they supposed to do? Well, the only other acceptable point to that, we looked in the original Wall Street, but our lights are lower than the top accommodate them, so a truck can come in Wall Street, and that way they can pull out back in. But that's something that the council, basically needs to be made. So I would recommend moving the lights up as far as.
Okay, your recommendation is move those lights up and they have access on Wall Avenue where the old city city used to be, that whole street there. So that would take care of the issue. The other thing I heard you saying is move the block back so they can have opportunity to go through there. How much would you recommend would be a good amount to move it back to work with them?
Off the back of their building, I would recommend approximately around 10 feet.
About 10 feet from the back of their building.
Dumpster, and then only block the section, not to block the truck coming in and out, but just to block the section for that downstairs traffic. Because that's really, that really should have never been for third traffic. That was
Right.
really a parking lot.
Right.
We're lucky that there hasn't been accidents there in the past years, but there's always potential for people parking.
So what I hear you saying, all the issues that she has brought to us, and those are good issues for that business, is that we can raise those lights on Wall Avenue, and we can do that. And the other thing is from the back of their building, just move the blockade back 10 feet.
I would set it back 10 feet and move the lights up.
Okay, all right.
So you wanted to say these owners that we hadn't heard of them.
They're still paying taxes on it, we looked it up.
Taxes on it. So they could initially come in and say, hey, I'm gonna close this.
They could,
They can really close off
those
those
lots.
3 lots. Got copied it. But they can close off three lots going to your west side, and then all you would have left is standing on the property, their property, which is perfect like this.
So it could go through there then.
No.
Well, technically, off the edge of their building, they have approximately 11.23 feet or 12 feet off that northern side of their building, so it's like 12 feet, I think. Almost exact.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
I said, the normal 18 wheelers got, 12 foot width, and y'all have like 12 feet off the building over to that side, so that'll allow them to pull up like back in. You know what I'm saying? But then we'll get you 10 feet behind that, and the city council decides to, which is not access back to your dumpster, and more room to let your truck, drop down in there by the door there.
Okay, so council, I think this is a good recommendation that has been met, that it sounds to me like all the issues that they had, we can resolve those if you're willing to raise those lights on Wall Avenue, move the barrier back 10 feet from their building, because that is a parking lot. So do I hear a motion to this effect?
I have a question.
Well, let's do a motion first and then we'll go through there.
Okay, but I'm gonna change it a little bit. I have a motion that we, raise the light, move it back to where where our dogs, the dog catcher can get back there to this man. Move that board and everything, the stop sign, whatever they got, that little yellow thing that's a hazard, because I rode by there, I looked at it myself. Move that back, all the way back to where, so our police officers, the dog catchers can get to the back and take those dogs in. They can't even get to the back.
But they can enter through the other side.
But,
But see, that's what we're trying to do, is set it back far enough that they can have access to it where the dogs and stuff, when they come in, they're not gonna be up in the public area, they'll be in the closed-in part of it. Because,
Yes.
there's a way integration and outrage. So, like I said, I wouldn't set it back past the dogs, I would set it back, like I said, about 10 feet. That way the police officers, if you'll enter the back of their building, but that way it stops down the traffic, so that can become a original parking lot again. And that way, if the police department decides to park the cars back there again, they're safe to park.
No, you're not looking
I'm
at
talking
for the dog. We got it for the dog catcher, comes in the back with their dog.
That used to be the old police department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I'm talking about in there because right now, they can't even go that way, cause I rode by there, I got it. You wanna see?
I know it's fine, but what I'm saying to you is they enter from the other side. They come off on Fourth Street.
Use the microphone, Chris. Explain that you've taken that issue, you've already taken
Taking
care of
that
that.
consideration, because what they'll do is they'll come in on Fourth Street. like, and then that will give them access, but it also stops vehicles from coming through there, so they can legally go in there, park at the back door, not have to worry about traffic driving by them while they unload their dog. That's kind of the principle behind it.
It's a safety thing for them
It's kind of a safety issue. That way it's actually a parking lot, not just, it's for all the businesses that are all the city properties there, including the dog pound, pictures area. And see, that way they'll have their parking back there, they don't have to worry about cars coming in from the other side and trying to fit through there. Because you notice like on Ford Taurus sometimes, it'll be so blocked up back and forth, you couldn't even get a car through. So what we're trying to do is make it safe for everybody, for all times, not just at moments in time, but that way if somebody please park beside the car back there, park their truck back there, there's not a lot of traffic coming in and out. It's just people pulling in the park, people in the parking lot.
You gonna take that stop sign down there, or that, whatever that little.
You would leave some kind of blockade there, but you don't want traffic to go through there. Because, I mean, the only other thing is to sit like concrete piles up, but we don't want to do that.
It's gonna benefit Family Dollar,
If
right?
we move it back, yes, and that way it gives them access to their dumpster.
Yeah.
But what it'll do is basically close off the parking lot to be a parking lot and not a drive to the area. Because it's never been a road.
Who put those blocks up there anyway?
The city council voted for him to do that at a meeting. Yes.
For that brand?
Yes, you voted on that, to close that
Yeah,
entire
they-
thing.
they
He
voted.
came to the city council and you voted for him to do that.
Well, I want to, go back and go back 14 feet. I want to make sure that the dump truck can get back there, because when I look back there, I mean, they couldn't even get to the door, to their, to their parking door. And this is a business that's trying to make
I
money.
understand, that's why I'm saying move it far enough back, that when the truck goes back in, they can drop out the ramps and have
Yes.
access to where they ramp it off into their back door. I don't want it to be where it's inconvenient for them.
And then somebody had the whole thing blocked out, but the businesses couldn't even get back there to the business. So I went back there because I was calling to the dog catcher. They had he couldn't even get back there on both sides of the street, And it had a big truck on one side coming off 4th Street that you're talking about, which that doesn't belong to the city. And then the sign over there by the Family Dollar side, they had that blocked off with stop sign on it too. No one could get through there, no one. He had to move it, fell down during the night, had to move it, just up one day, boom, blocked off. And that's not right.
The city council voted to do that.
We voted to do that. Well, I make a suggestion that I want to rescind that vote.
That is not what the issue is,
I want
Councilwoman
to
and
rescind
Abby.
that vote and vote to open that road.
That is not what is on the agenda. The question has come to us from Family Dollar. Would we make accessible for them for safety issues? That is the issue. Do I hear a motion to accept the recommendation by our Public Works Director so that we can accommodate their trucks, them getting back to their dumpster, and reserving that as a parking lot as the way it has always been in the city? Do I hear a motion to that effect?
I made that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I would say that as long as they can get to their stuff.
We're going to see that they do.
Come back.
We're going to do whatever they need to do to get there, but that is a parking lot. It is not a street. It is not an alleyway. We have a motion. We have a second. Any other discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I want to do it around.
I'm asking that the blockade be removed completely.
I understand what you say, but we cannot do that because that is a parking lot and it is not owned by the city. It is owned by all those businesses back there. It is not an alleyway. It is not a thoroughfare. Just because we've always done it does not mean it has to continue.
I understand that, but I also.
Excuse me, this is a business meeting. You can come to the microphone when she finishes.
I'm saying that it is very much more accessible for us to bring our truck all the way around. Even if we're bringing our truck in on that side road, it is very hard. You have that awning and everything.
That's what he was just talking about.
And we bring a lot of business and revenue to y'all. And
Yes.
and if you can't remove that, how can you put it up? So if you said
parking lot for all those businesses. Miss Shirley wanted to speak. Miss Shirley.
Only thing I wanna say is, you got, yeah, y'all talking about the businesses, but all those businesses around in that area, they want it moved. They not plans, for that street to be blocked off those, businesses around there.
Thank you, but.
I mean, and like you said, it's not a street, and Family Dollar been there since 1980, and guess what, we bring business to this
Yes,
town.
you do.
I feel like y'all should have came to us and asked us first, and everybody could have agreed with it.
That's
You know what I'm
a good
saying? It just don't make no sense, y'all making these decisions without agreeing with everybody that own those businesses around there, right? Right.
Thank you, but you are the only one business that has come, you cannot speak for
Oh,
other
we got
businesses.
business.
Excuse me, you're not on the agenda, excuse me, you can be on the agenda the next time. We have a motion, we have a second. Call for the vote. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
We table this until we can make an investigation and see what's gonna benefit everybody.
I think it would be good if the businesses were willing to come and speak, but let me give you the plan. If you want to be on the agenda, you have to let the clerk know. Our new mayor-elect says he wants the agenda to go out 7 days prior to the council meeting, so I don't know how many days you'll have to have the request in prior to that for a council meeting. Normally it's 7 days, so that would be 14 days prior to a city council meeting, and we would love to hear from everybody. I won't be here, but I know our mayor-elect and this council will treat everyone fairly. Thank y'all for coming. Now, what we need to do is to rescind the motion that was on the tape, and the second. Do I hear a recommendation to rescind the motion and the second, and then we'll entertain another motion?
Do I have to rescind my motion?
I'm asking, are you wanting to rescind your motion?
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, there was no problem.
Okay, he is not willing to rescind his motion. We have a second on the floor, so we'll call for the vote.
Councilman Ross Patton.
What's the,
To move the triangle deals back 10 feet for now until we figure something
no,
out.
I think we need to table it, no.
We'll just be in the way for another month.
Okay, she's voting no.
Councilman Carter.
Yes, with the stipulation that I still think we need to revisit it, give them 10 feet down to.
And raise the lights.
And raise the lights to let them have access to their stuff now, but I still think we need to investigate this more.
Councilman Avenu.
I won't say yes, but I agree with Chad. I think we need to let more citizens that live there come in, talk to us about it, and we can go decide what we want to do.
Okay.
Councilman Franklin. Councilman Robbins.
Yes, we need a solution now, so they can get to their goal.
That's a good idea. We go ahead and do the solution now so they can get everything that they need to, and then it can be revisited. It passes. Okay,
Y'all can't come back and bring it up again.
the next item on the agenda is to approve the employee handbook. This has been, the city council has had access and working on this since December of last year. It was introduced to our, you had the latest in your box, and most of you picked all those up. There was an item that was listed on page 9 that you received a copy of it that had to do with the use of city vehicles, which came up because of a police officer using it. So do I hear a motion to accept the city handbook as presented? In fact, one of the things that was suggested by our department heads was that today, the 13th, be Columbus Day and not take off the Friday before the 24th of June. We had to work today, or the employees worked today, and everyone else was out. The reason this was requested was because all city and state offices and Covenant County offices are closed today, and the city cannot do any business. You keep tabling, and this is one of the things that you were asked to vote on. The other thing is the insurance is, information for our employees is incorrect in there. The retirement system is incorrect. Every time we get a new hire, the human resource officer, which is our city clerk, is required to give them a copy of the employee handbook. If you don't like this, you can always come back and amend sections of it. You've already approved the chapter 2 of it, but it's important that we have what our employees need. So do I hear a motion to approve the employee handbook as amended?
I made that motion.
We have a motion to approve the employee handbook as amended. Do we have a second?
I second it, but I second it.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff in that employee handbook. It's wrong. It's still wrong. For instance, you got the mayor working 9 to 5. The mayor's an elected officer. They don't work 9 to 5.
There's nothing in there that says the mayor works from 9 to 5. It says the city office is open.
And also got the mayor hours. Under the list, the hours.
That is not in this handbook.
And yes, it was. And then also.
It is not in the handbook.
Mayor Robbins also, it's just a lot of stuff that's just incorrect, and I think we need to wait till the new mayor gets here, which he'll be here in November, so
We have a motion to accept it. Do we have a second?
I second it.
We have a second. Any other discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I have been in contact with the lady. Apparently, you don't need to have it under ordinance. It's supposed to be a resolution.
Well, then the city of Florida has been wrong since your husband was mayor, way before that. Well, then what we can do is we can call this resolution whatever. But, and that's a good point. I had not heard that. But, this can be resolution. We just change it from ordinance to that resolution number there. That's a good point. So change it from ordinance to resolution. We have an employee handbook. We have motion on the floor and a second. Call for the,
I have a comment.
yes.
What about the, vehicles? Is that in there for the, we talked about earlier about, we shouldn't let just everybody ride?
It's in there. If you will look, you were sent that in an email. It's on page 9, and all that's been corrected as was requested. And you've got a copy of it in your packet, all of that, with everything that the city council has requested up until this time has been included in this handbook. So we have a motion, we have a second, call for the vote.
Councilman Moss.
No.
Councilman Carter.
Yes.
Councilman Danley.
Yes.
Councilman Franklin.
No.
Councilman Robbins.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next thing is to approve the elected officials' travel policy. When a mayor or city council member or any citizen decides that they want to declare their candidacy for an office for council or mayor, there are no requirements listed for each office other than the ones that you've got to be a resident for so long, and there are just all kinds of rules and regulations. But there are no entitlements listed for serving. It is not a part of the election process to the office. So candidates who qualify and are elected mayor or they're elected council, they may or may not be guaranteed certain financial incentives and or obligations. There have been several years that I've been reading all of our minutes that the council was allowed to go to training, but there was no financial assistance for them. There have been other years when the city council was given $300 a year for all training. If you look at this, the city council is now required to have so many hours of municipal training. If you notice in this projected policy that all of those to the city of Florida 1/2 of the total public funds that were paid by the city for the event. If the official prefers, the reimbursement can be taken from the official's monthly council check, and all out-of-state elective training will be the responsibility of the official. We encourage and we want all of our city officials to be well trained, but we have to remember that we live in a community where the average income is $35,000 to $38,000. The majority of our students are on a free and reduced lunch, and I think this is an excellent policy to cover all the required training and any elective training that the city council would like to do. So do I hear a motion to accept the City of Florida travel policy for elected officials?
I give a motion to table that.
And what is your reason for tabling it?
We normally don't discuss after get accepted, that's what y'all feel.
I understand that, but why
I
are
give
you
my
wanting to
reason.
table it?
I give my
You
reason.
tabled it the last time we came to this.
Yeah, because I give you several reasons. One of the reasons is, just like you said, we only a lot of people on a fixed income, and it's mandatory training now.
Yeah, but it's going to be paid
I
for.
went to a training, I got there on time, could not get in because of the credit card or whatever that you didn't have, or you didn't bring with you up to a court, and then I had to run around, get my own money to pay for it, and then could not cancel because I didn't have it, because it was billed to a third party. They said you couldn't cancel, no way can you cancel your reservation because it was billed to a third party. So I had to go around, put money on a card because you can't do it with cash, and to get to my meeting that I'm late. And then one time I couldn't go, tried to cancel, couldn't cancel my thing in time because it was billed to a third party. The lease suggested that if you're gonna stay at a hotel, that you pay for it through, not go through a third party, because it's hard to cancel a class. And I had an emergency, and I tried to cancel in time and couldn't. And so being responsible for thousands of dollars, I don't think that we can have, especially it's mandatory training that we need to go through, and we have money allocated for our training, because we need this training so we know how the council is supposed to.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
That's
Your hotel bill was already paid for by credit card. The only thing you needed to pay was for any incidentals. Everything had already been paid for. It was not the city council's or the city's responsibility to pay for incidentals. All of the registration and all of the hotel is done by Park Hendricks. It goes through everything that is League of Municipalities puts up. So do I hear a motion to approve the elected officials' travel policy?
I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to accept approve the elected
No, I
officials'
should have
travel
a motion on
policy.
the table for the table, so.
We have a motion to table it. Do we have a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
Yes, what determines staying overnight and not distance?
It has to do with the amount of time. The reason I'm trying to pass this, every one of you are about to go to some training that is required. Our mayor-elect's going, every one of you are going. If you do not pass this, we cannot pay for your hotel bill. We can pay for your registration, but we cannot pay for your hotel bill. And if you do not pass this tonight, you can always come back and you can change it if you need to. But I'm trying to get your hotel bill paid for.
The reason I asked that is because when I was told that the city wasn't gonna pay because if it was in a certain distance, I could drive back and forth every day. Well, I mean, I know that, oh, yeah.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
Well, see, what happened was, that's what we were originally told, I believe, but then those programs are, then you're going to have to stay all night, overnight, so that you can be in your meeting the next day. So, we have a motion and a second to table it. Call for the vote.
Councilman Ross Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
No.
Councilman Abbott? Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
No.
It passes. Now do we have a motion to approve the elected officials' travel policy?
I make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Call for the vote.
Councilman Ross Patton?
No.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin? No. Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Thank you. It passes. We also have one for our employees. We encourage our employees, we feel that it is necessary and desirable for them to have training. We have the rules here for in-state training. We also have registration and overnight travel for them. We have one-day travel. A lot of our employees goes to one-day travel. And we also have a policy here for out-of-state travel and for mileage reimbursement. And our clerk is one of these people who does all of this. We have a lot of our employees who need to go to different meetings and things. Our chief of police goes, our magistrate, there are many of our employees. So do I hear a motion to accept the City of Florida travel policy for employees?
I make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Ross Patton? Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
No.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
It passes. Thank you. The next thing we have on the item is our chief of police. He's going to talk to us about the approval of CPR classes by our fire department. Fire chief. I say, I call you that every time. Maybe you need to do double duty.
Everybody's, staff from Chief Jones.
Oh, okay. That's for something else. Okay. Go ahead, chief.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, like I said, I apologize for, not, to the mayor and the council for not knowing that BLS CPR training, service to the citizens and community was, that I had to come get approved. I thought it was weird, as the fire chief and department, that, are giving our service back, doing CPR training was part of it. But since we are doing it to the citizens and city, community, they're paying for their class. They're getting their card, they're getting, books on top of that. So we've got mannequins and stuff that we have to buy to keep going. So we're not making maybe $5 or so just to keep putting back into the CPR. So that's what I'm asking, can we continue this service to the community with the CPR training? We've got several CPR instructors, Robert Thomas, Alden Jones. We also, that we can give back. A lot of people have to have CPR for their work, and our members have to have it. So we were having to find somebody to come in and do it, so we decided to just get our instructors and do it in-house. So that's what I wanted to ask, if we can get approved to keep doing this service and, giving it paid to us for the CPR training.
I think it's an excellent idea that y'all are doing this, and it's a great benefit to our community. Do I hear a motion to approve the CPR classes as provided by our fire department? Thank you, Chief Jones.
I give that motion.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Ross Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Thank you. While you're up here, why don't you go ahead and talk about the fire department report and all those good things?
Okay, yeah, so, this month is Fire Prevention Month. If you've seen on the, LED, welcome sign that we have tips about, things that, citizens can do to help prevent fires or any kind of little quotes or anything that they can help to keep them in with their smoke alarms and all that. We've also had our, smoke house out. It's been in Kinston, it's going to Blackman, it's been to Laura Hill. It's, also been to our Head Start, it's going to W.S. Harlem.
They love it at Head Start.
We appreciate it, and actually I went and looked at it. I know it's outside, and hopefully in the next month it'll be inside, so y'all just bear with us. I went inside, everything looks good inside of it. There's no issues, no leaks, but we know we want to get it inside, so as soon as we get the building, hopefully we get the EMS building in the future, we'll be able to house it. So, also grants, we actually got the AFG grant from FEMA for wildland gear. So we have 25 sets of wildland gear, from helmets, boots, pants, jackets, backpacks, fire shield blankets that they'll put on in case of, if they get caught in an area where the fire changes on them. I think the total was $62,000, where we will have to pay 5% to the grant writer and 5% to the company that we buy the stuff from. So for $62,000, we're getting all this for $6,000.
That's awesome.
So, and also, Larry Foundation, been putting in for extrication equipment for 4 or 5 times. They only let you put in a half application. They just sent me an email today that they asked for our full application now, so we moved to the next step on that. So hopefully we'll know in December if we get that. One more thing, and I'll let y'all go. The Florell emergency helipad, we got the report back the other day, so it complies with all state codes and will be a current operating certified helipad. With Wiregrass RC&D that helped us, the city also helped us, and the fire department used some of the budget money. We've actually got that helipad back to 100% operation 24/7 at night and day. There was no violations, only one circumstance required. They asked for us to remove the cedar trees on Elm Street because of the power lines there, and if anything they hit, it can have an obstacle that goes into the houses next to them. So also with that being said, they've also told me that they're going to send me an email where the power lines will have the reflective marker ball put on Elm and Goldenrod for visibility when they're coming in at night. So that'll be on Alabama Power. They'll put it up. This company, Aldous told us that if they require it, then Alabama Power will take care of it for free. So other than that, that's all I got. I appreciate everything that y'all do.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do for us. Yes. You know, we removed part of those trees, and they thought that was going to take care of it, but now we have to remove all of those. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is to surplus the 2019 white Ford Taurus city vehicle that's sitting out there. The air conditioner doesn't work. There are many things that do not work on it, and it's just going to cost more money than what it's worth. So do I hear a motion to surplus the 2019 white Ford Taurus?
I made that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll say it.
We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilwoman Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Abbott? Yes. Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Motion passes. Vacating property on 7th Street, Brett Schofield.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of the heirs of 23-126 Fifth Avenue. We own the property to the east side of 7th Street. We are asking, since y'all are vacating this property, that y'all give us the opportunity to own it and leave it to us to be with all the property right there and not have to separate it. And that's, I give Mr. Madden a map of it, and the print on the plat map is so small I can't hardly read it. I think it's a 50-foot distance between the building and the ditch, the drainage pit, and the depth of, from the sidewalk of Fifth Avenue to the unknown tree at the back is roughly 180 feet. I think it goes up to 200 feet. I couldn't see on this print, but that is what we requested.
Okay, my only understanding about all of that, I think this is the same property that the city council tabled last time, because we were going to give that to you because it was dedicated as an alleyway. We've been doing that for all the people that were on the side of that street. Are we talking about the very same
Yes,
property?
that same property. Yes.
Okay, because beyond that, we couldn't go any farther because our public works director says they have equipment and underline and things that are under the ground back there for the utilities board that we cannot encroach upon. So you're asking for the same thing that the city council tabled last time, nothing more?
Nothing more.
Okay, all right. Do we have a motion to, what was the correct term we used for that last time? I don't remember. We're vacating that so that you can have it, because that's what we've been doing. You get half of it, the other property owner can get the other half, if they so desire. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second for discussion.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Now, my concern is that ditch, not that ditch, you know, that ditch has gotta be maintained. You know, I mean, over time, yeah, but, you know, if you get 50 foot here, 50 foot here, there's no way to get to that and maintain it. You see, the pipes are gonna rust that road down, we've got to have some kind of ditch there. You know what I'm saying? If you get 50 foot on this side, then how are we gonna maintain that ditch? You're gonna be able to get equipment in there and maintain that ditch for what, we're saying, what's the end, and the pipe's going out and everything. I mean, and it's like you, if you say you own property and 10 years down the road, you got sold and somebody put a fence right up to the ditch, we can't get in there. That's my issue.
The street is 100 foot wide. I was assuming that Jerry Thames got 50 foot of it.
I didn't know about that.
And we got the other 50 foot. Jerry's would come to the east side, his property would come to the east side of that ditch.
So we would go.
So it would go to Jerry and it would not be y'all's.
So it ain't got nothing to do, you ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, I don't have nothing to do with that. Mine goes right up to the east side of the ditch. And then I guess Jerry goes beyond that.
So it sounds like they have access to it.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Councilman Carter. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion?
I have a question.
Okay.
I know we vacated several very similar properties in the past year or so, but each property that we vacated has zero value to the city, just from where they're located there.
Correct.
Does this property, even though it's small, does it propose any value to the city, or could it even be of value to the city? Because I don't know. I really don't. I just,
It's been there forever, and
Yes,
my
sir.
dad owned the property next door, and y'all haven't done anything with it.
yes, sir. I understand. It's also Main Street up front, prime property. And I know it's only 50 feet, but I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing. That's all I'm asking for. You know? I just want to make sure it's right. And we do it.
Any suggestions as to what you could do with that?
I don't know.
We have a pocket park up there that we have to lock up.
You can't do that with that ditch there.
Well, that's what I'm asking from a professional standpoint. Is there anything that can be done?
That's a good question.
I really don't know. But it is front and center, and I am concerned about it.
But, we gave Jerry Thames.
We did, and
So you're saying you've already set a precedent.
that is true. It's tough, it's a tough spot, it really is.
It is a very tough spot. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, we got a motion and a second. Call for the vote.
Councilman Walker? No. Councilman Carter?
I'm understanding.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
I say.
Second, any discussion?
Read the proposal.
Sure, you wanna read it to us, please?
I gotta find it. But I'll read it. Okay. Dear members of the city council, I am writing to respectfully request consideration for a reduction in rent for our lease space at 23218 Fifth Avenue. While we remain committed to being part of the downtown community and contributing to the growth of Florida, we have continued to experience several unresolved issues with the building that have directly impacted our operations and expenses. These issues include plumbing leaks, electrical problems, missing ceiling tiles due to leaks, weak spots on the floors, and rotting wood on the walls. Despite our efforts to work around these problems, they have caused interruptions in the business and increased maintenance costs. We kindly ask the council to consider a reduction in rent until the necessary repairs are completed and the building is brought back to standard condition. This adjustment would not only help offset the financial strain caused by these issues, but also allow us to continue serving our community without disruption. We truly appreciate the city's partnership and support for small businesses like ours and remain committed to maintaining a positive presence in the community. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Anthony and Autumn Jones with Bible Cafe.
Thank you, Councilman Robbins. Do we have a motion to accept this request?
It's already been given and
Oh, motion is second. Thank you, Councilwoman Wallace Patton. I appreciate your correcting me. Thank you so much. Call for the vote.
Councilman Wallace Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Carries. The next item is to reappoint Tori, Russel, and Sandra Danley to the Recreation Board. Do we hear a motion to reappoint these two? The Rec Board has recommended them.
I make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I say.
Second, any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. I know that Sandra is gonna do it, but I don't know for sure that Tori is. We had a discussion the other night, she may not come back next year for this, so.
If she resigns, then we can fill that.
Yes, ma'am, I didn't want her appointed, she didn't want to be appointed, you know, that was my own concern.
Well, I was told she wanted
Okay.
it, so I don't know.
I'm good with that, I mean.
Okay, thank you. And if she does vacate that position, y'all can make another recommendation.
Now, do we have to abstain from the vote?
No, y'all can.
Okay.
I'd just like to say, as the vice president of the rec board, both of these ladies dedicate a lot of time, effort, and they do a great job, and I appreciate them. And
You do.
We need a motion and a second. We have a motion, we need a second. And a second. Lord have mercy, this has been a long meeting. Thank y'all so much. Call for the vote.
Councilman Wallace Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Okay, the next item is to appoint Johnny Carlson to the Board of Adjustments. We have a vacancy there due to the death of Steve Franklin. Do we have a motion to appoint John Carlson to finish this unexpired term?
I make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a discussion. Okay, the Board of Adjustment, I thought I was on the board. Have they met?
They only have to meet if there is an adjustment to be made for any zoning ordinance that we have.
And the other thing is, someone came to me and said they wanted to be on this board, and I just wanted,
Well, you're not a member of the board.
I should, I was before, but I just got out, and it was on the Board of Adjustment, because we never met, that's why I asked that question. So, but, because I wondered, did they recommend him, because I know we never met.
They have not met. I made the recommendation because Mr. Carlson knows a lot about planning and zoning. He's just gotten all of his certifications for the state of Alabama. He's done this for a long time in Florida, and he's just to finish an unexpired term. That was the reason and they have not met. You are correct. They only meet if there is a necessity to.
And the other thing is, when does this term end? Because
I don't have that here in front of me. I think it was 2026. motion, who was the second? Do we have a second?
I'll say.
We have a second? Okay. Any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Patton?
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, if it's 2026.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
It passes, thank you. The next one is, the reappointment of Sheila Franklin to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The mayor serves on this, the city clerk serves on it, and the city council is required to have one city council member on there. Sheila has been serving, she's worked very diligently with the comprehensive plan. I think it would be good if she's reappointed to this board for the continuation, and at the next time, if we needed to reappoint somebody else, you could do that. But she is also the vice chair of this committee. Do I hear a motion to reappoint Sheila Franklin to the Planning and Zoning Commission?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I second it.
Thank you, call for the vote.
Councilman Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin? Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
It passes, congratulations. The next thing that you have is a proposal from Carver Community Center. It says to the Honorable Mayor and members of the Florella City Council from Carver Community Center, date 10/13/2025. The Carver Community Center, a longstanding institution within the city of Florella, respectfully submits this proposal requesting the donation of 2 city-owned lots located directly adjacent to the Carver Community Center property. These lots are integral to the continued service, upkeep, and expansion of the center's community-based programs and facilities. Background and context: for more than 20 years, the Carver Community Center has acted as the primary caretaker and steward of the lots, and it's got the parcel number there in question. Although the lots are legally owned by the city of Florella, the community center has, 1, maintained the properties entirely at its own expense, including mowing, clearing debris, and general upkeep. Utilize the lots for community functions such as youth recreation, outdoor events, and neighborhood gatherings. 3, ensure safety and cleanliness, preventing overgrowth and neglect that could otherwise diminish the surrounding neighborhood's appearance and value. At no time has the city incurred maintenance costs or been required to allocate resources toward the care of these lots. The Carver Community Center's commitment has been consistent, voluntary, and motivated solely by a desire to serve the citizens of Florella. The proposal: the Carver Community Center formally requests that the city of Florella donate the 2 city-owned lots to the center. By transferring ownership, the city would be recognizing and supporting the decades of stewardship already provided by the center. The donation would also empower the Carver Community Center to pursue grants, development projects, and improvements that are contingent upon property ownership. Community benefits: the donation of the lots would provide tangible and long-term benefits to the city of Florella, including 1, enhanced community programming, expanded outdoor and youth activity space for after-school programs, fitness initiatives, and community gatherings. 2, economic and aesthetic improvement, continued upkeep and beautification of the area, supporting neighborhood pride and property value stability. 3, civic partnership, reinforcement of the city's commitment to collaboration with local organizations that invest directly in residents' quality of life. 4, grant eligibility and developmental opportunities. Excuse me. Ownership of the property would allow the Carver Community Center to apply for state and federal grants for facility improvements, playgrounds, and educational programs, projects that would ultimately benefit the entire city. Excuse me. The Carver Community Center has demonstrated more than 2 decades of care, maintenance, and service on behalf of the city of Florella by preserving and utilizing these lots for community betterment. We respectfully request that the city formally donate these 2 adjacent lots to the Carver Community Center so that this legacy of stewardship can continue with greater impact and security. We sincerely thank the council for considering this request and for your ongoing partnership in supporting the well-being and growth of the Florida community. Respectfully submitted, Hazel Bryant, President, Carver Community Center. Okay, do I hear a motion to accept this proposal? We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second for discussion as well.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. I have no issue with the Carver Center using these lots and doing all kinds of stuff. But it's kind of like the cancel freeze thing, I mean, you can't just go around and let us do it. You know, I mean, I'm all for them using them and continue using them, and if you have to sign some kind of paperwork and say they can use them as long as they're using them for that, I'm all good with that.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I'm gonna ask the same question I did about the other property. Does this property have any value to the city of Florida? I know where it's at, and I would personally probably say no, except for maybe what it's worth, but it is a value to the Carver Center. It's kind of landlocked by the Carver Center, and they have taken care of it. But I would also like a little more time to think. I mean, this letter was just written today, and
It was written on Saturday and
Right.
given today.
Right. I
You're
would-
correct.
I'm not against giving them the property for what they want it for, but I want to make sure we can do that legally, and I just like some time to chew on it, to be honest with you.
Then we'll table it.
Well, I did second to pass it, but I wanted to discuss it. I would like to table it, if I could rescind my motion.
Okay, then, who made the motion? Okay, do you rescind your motion? We have a motion to rescind, the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have to rescind it. Any other discussion? Would you call for the vote then? To rescind the motion?
Councilwoman Captain?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Okay. Then, did you want to make a motion to table it for further investigation?
Yes, ma'am, I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to table this for further discussion and investigation. Do we have a second?
I second it.
We have a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilwoman Captain?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Okay. The next thing that you have in your packet, you passed a compensation plan for our current employees. We've not passed anything for new hires in relationship to that. We looked at these, as with other departments, I talked to the people, and this is only for new hire people who come in these positions beginning tonight if you approve this. So, I gave you a copy of this earlier. It's been a while back, but we're just now bringing it to the table for you to consider this salary schedule. And it will only be until your next budget year. Every time you give a raise, you're going to have to come back and negotiate new hire salaries too, just like you do at the budget year. Do we hear a motion to pass this as presented?
I have a motion to pass with some alteration, like bookkeeper making $19 an hour. That's for a new hire, that's too much.
But they only work part-time. That's the reason, that's the rationale for that. Right now, it is not a full-time position.
So right now,
Yes, if it ever becomes a full-time position, then that's something that needs to be addressed.
well, it needs to say part-time on there, for part-time only. But that's too much.
month's salary.
Right, okay.
And you've got to remember, this is just the beginning. Once they work, if you look at that second page, when they will get a 50 cents an hour raise as soon as they meet their probation. Their probation is 90 days, except for police officers, theirs is different. And so, yeah, if you look at the highlighted part, it says new hire salary, hourly rates would be adjusted at the beginning of the fiscal year each October based on available resources in the annual budget. This is only for 12 months. The only positions that I know that we have open right now is a foreman's job at the parks and lakes, and beginning salary that's been recommended there was recommended by our lakes manager.
I second it. She made a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second, any other discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilman Moss Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Danley? Yes. Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Thank y'all. Community notes, if you'll look in your packet, we have a letter from ALDOT, from the Alabama Department of Transportation. I want us to look at this. If this is in relationship, it says Alabama 55, it was 54. And I'm not so sure they even have the right thing, and caution light request. This is in response to your request to the Alabama Department of Transportation, conducted a speed study along Alabama 55 within the town of Florella, and I think they only did it because I would also asked them to put a caution light up at the Sergeant Evans, where all of our school buses and everything comes in. So I think this is only in relationship to that and not the one for Highway 54. They've not given us that. But this study was done in accordance with ALDOT's Alabama Speed Management Manual. Speed data was collected at several spots along the corridor. Current traffic conditions at the spot speed study show 85 percentile speeds above the current speed limit. The federal guidelines within the current approved 2009 Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices states that when a speed limit is posted, it should be within 5 miles per hour of the 85th percentile speed. Currently, ALDOT does not approve a reduction in the speed limit along Alabama 55. ALDOT recommends increased enforcement to reduce the speeds to the current speed limit. ALDOT would conduct another study if traffic patterns change at the request of the town. In response to your request for a caution light at the intersection of Alabama 55 and Josh Turner Drive, ALDOT analyzed the existing crash data and conditions at the intersection and determined that no caution light was warranted. If you have any questions, and this is signed by Brendan C. McTeer, Troy Area Traffic Engineer. So, this can always be revisited at another time. The other thing that I wanted to mention was we want to thank the Friends of Lake Jackson for decorating down around the Rodney J. Evans building today, around there, around the fence that's around there. We have one other letter that we need to read, and I'm going to pass this down for everyone.
Can I make a comment on the ALDOT thing?
Please do.
Why not we see if we can make that a school zone? If you go through the school is a mile from there. See if we can make the school zone through there.
That's a
And the
good
buses
point.
do there, so we can get them slow down right through there.
That's a good point, Mayor-elect. Okay, the next thing that you have is a letter from the Florella Historical Society, P.O. Box 543, October the 7th, 2025, dear Robbins, Mayor. Dear Honorable Mayor and City Council, the Board of Directors of the Florella Historical Society met on Monday, October the 6th, 2025. We're giving the City of Florella notice that we are terminating the lease agreement we have with the city for the L&N Depot owned by the Historical Society effective November 1st, 2025. We have appreciated the city leasing the building for $100 a month and subleasing it for a restaurant since 2018. The society will continue leasing ensuring the city continues to receive tax revenue. Sincerely, Betty P. Strickland, President, Florella Historical Society. The question was brought to question today about the pole barn that is on that building. It was built by the Historical Society, and they pay the dues, the taxes every year on that. It was thought that the city may own that pole building that is there. It was built by the Historical Society. The plat is already in the plat books at the probate office, and they pay taxes on that every year, and that was built so that it could be a, what was it? Farmers market, that's it, thank you. Okay, so, do I have a motion to accept this, from the Historical Society? You really don't have to accept it because there was not any kind of agreement with them saying that at any time anyone could say they no longer wanted to do this lease. The reason is the city was supposed to keep up the maintenance of the outside of the building. The city has not done that. The Historical Society has made pictures of all the y'all have to excuse me. Thank you. All the damage that needs to be repaired, and it's somewhere plus $50,000. The city does not have the money to do that. So the Historical Society is going to take this building back over. They own the building. They own all that property there. And they're just letting the city know that they will be taking it over November the 1st. Okay.
You said that the Historical Society owns that building. I know they built that building, but you said they own that property.
They own all of that property.
Just because you pay taxes on it, you own it.
That's correct, but they do own all the property. If you'll notice, when you go up on the back of the property and the front of the property, it has a sign that says the Florella Historical Society. They own all that property.
So is this a month-to-month lease?
We had a month-to-month lease.
That's the reason I was just asking, I mean, I just,
Yes, that's a good point, and we will pay them for October, the lease that we have with them for October, but beginning November 1, the city will no longer be paying them lease.
I just didn't want to have to come up with a bunch of money breaking a lease, you know?
No, that's a good point. Very, very good point. There's one other question to ask. Does the city council want to participate in Halloween Town? If you do, we need a volunteer to let the Tri-Cities Chamber of Commerce know that you need a booth. Typically, Deborah, you handle all this for us.
Well, I mean, I'll be down there anyway, so, you know, we need to, I sure do.
It's usually just accepted that we don't have to vote on it, that we'll do it. So, okay. All right, so if you'll get with the Tri-Cities Chamber of Commerce and get us a booth space, that would be great. Okay, at this time we have our committee reports. District 1, Recreation and Cemetery.
Recreation, we already done that, we both Tori and Sandra, and I haven't heard anything about that, except anything, so we got the vice president of the rec board and a board member right next to me there. So, and cemetery, I haven't heard anything from the cemetery, the work from the cemetery. For District 1, no one came to me with any problems in District 1, but I did notice that, those stop signs are going missing or leaning or
You are
can't see
correct.
it. And we need some more signs. The signs look horrible. We need to do something about the signs in District 1.
Our projects manager, we made him aware of that. He's got lots of projects going on right now, but all of those signs have to be ordered, and it takes a while to get those.
I have a question on Longview. If I order the signs and I toss the city, can I put them on? To make it it's 25 mile an hour there anyway, and the trucks are coming out full. If I pay for the signs, can I put the signs on?
I don't see any reason. We accept all donations.
I mean, I just don't want to do something, you know, yeah. I'll put the signs
That's
on.
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Sylvia Wallace-Patton, our District 1 representative. District 2 Senior Center, Councilman Porter.
Due to funding issues, every senior center in the state with more than 25 participants has been required to reduce the number of home bailing participants. This has affected our center. We went from 52 to 41 as of now, but are expected to drop a few more in the coming weeks. 16 in-house meals and 25 delivered. The new tables are in and looks great. Senior Center will be going on a trip to the Peanut Festival for Seniors Day on November the 6th.
And they love that every year. One thing is, we got a letter telling us the senior center every year has to have an inspection of the transit, mobile inspection, and I want you to know they got an excellent rating on the bus and everything. It was outstanding.
And
That's
there
good.
again, just sidewalks and signs, but, you
Yes.
know, there's a bunch of signs and sidewalks, but that's it out of District 2.
Thank you. Okay, District 3, Lake Jackson and Operations, Councilwoman in Avenu.
You know, we got complaints about, you know, the pothole there above the, car wash, but that going to the state, but still, you know, people's complaining about it. I talked to Otis yesterday, and like I said earlier, he's working on some projects down there, so I think he's gonna turn out really good. We're waiting for our kiosk to get here at the end of October, hopefully, so other than that, we're good.
Very good, thank you. And Councilwoman Franklin, we love having you up here. This may be the one and only time for a while. I know we missed having you here. District 4 and the library.
We haven't got any complaints out of District 4. Just took another drive around our new streets that we have over there. It's so nice. It is so nice not to see those deep ditches and all that. And hopefully we'll be able to have in the future more throughout the city like that. And then also we had the Fall Public Library meeting, October 8th on Wednesday. And this is when we called the meeting to order. And I gave each one a copy of the financial sheet and all. And then also the new business that they're having is hopefully we're going to have a box book sale at the library in November before Thanksgiving. And they typically put it 17th through the 21st. So we'll see how that goes. Yes. Oh, and also, I've gotten with the Chamber of Commerce in Wilford. We had a project that came through LEAD, and it started back, it was the little free pantry over near the Carver Center. Well, what I'm trying to do now is get some life back in it, and during Halloween Town, we're gonna have some donation boxes at the areas that, like in the Tri-City, like of course the Chamber of Commerce, and then also for the shop block. And I was also hoping maybe to put at the library a little donation box and City Hall.
That's a good
And
idea.
I thought I'd be in charge of going around collecting, and Miss Judy Burke is also gonna help me. She's already found to store the extra donated, items. So I think everything's going good, but we're gonna try to revive that to help keep it supply, because apparently when we fill it, it empties just as fast. So anyhow, that's, yes.
You're more than welcome to put one at the depot also.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. But so, I mean, it's something that I'm looking forward to helping with.
That's excellent, thank you. The next thing is District 5, Court and Police, Councilman Robbins.
District 5, I had someone asked me to visit with a man back here behind the old Head Start building on that road. I can't think of what that road is. But I went and visited with the man, and he had an issue with the sidewalk and the way his driveway was with the sidewalk, and they're disabled. And I listened to what he had to say. I filed a work order. I'm not sure what's been done since, but I know they'll look at it. Other than that, I haven't had a chance to really do much in District 5. I haven't had any complaints that I'm aware of. This letter, did you request the speed limit change on 55?
I did not. The only thing I requested was that they put a caution light. We had neighbors around there, Mr. Danny Dice and other neighbors, trying to get out of their driveways, but one of the main issues I've had parents to say, when they're taking their children back and forth, they are worried about our buses pulling out there and people flying around there. So I did put in writing to them and request requested a caution light.
Well, I definitely agree with that. I mean, that is a bad, very bad spot. But I asked that because I do think they're referring to 54. And,
Well, I will follow up on that, and we can follow up on that.
I don't think this is an acceptable answer for that.
I didn't either.
And, but other than that, District 5, we're good. Court stopped in and seen Aaron a week or so ago, and it was a quick conversation as usual. Aaron, you good? Yeah, man, I'm good. All right. And I haven't had a chance to tie in with Chief McGraw, Assistant Chief Pigpen, though. I think he wants to say something.
Okay.
Just to clarify, I know we can't reverse anything, but the car, did y'all surplus that car?
We did.
Okay, so why didn't that come back to the police department? Because I
Well,
don't
that
know.
is an excellent question. We didn't think about it.
Yeah, I know, because we got those donated less than a year, we haven't even owned those cars a year. October 25th last year, they were donated for free. I don't think it's right that we're trying to sell one when we can use a car. We actually took the lights out of it, we took the cage off of it to donate it to the city.
That's what I'm saying.
And
No
then
donated
but
it
nobody
to
talked to
us.
us, so we didn't
You're
know anything
correct.
about it.
We did not, because it was donated to the city, not the police.
Right.
The police department donated it
Right.
to the city. It's the only reason that
Right.
decision was made.
Right, so we would like to have the car back. If y'all don't want it, because I mean, I'm sure it's worth more than, it's not worth more than the car is worth, because the car's free. So if it costs $5,000, it's $5,000 on a new car. It's 100% not more than the car is worth, to me.
Well, then this will have to be
So,
reversed at the
That's what we
next
just
council
wanted to
meeting.
just put that on. I know y'all probably weren't aware of that, but.
And you know what, I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, that's,
The
me and
clerk
she
and I
talked
was
about it
looking at
briefly a
that.
minute ago, and that's what you wanted me to bring up.
Well, I think that's a good point. Thank you.
That's all we have.
Okay, thank you. All right, good point. Okay, anything else?
I make a motion to amend the agenda, let's just take care of that right now. I didn't think about it either. I don't know if we can or not, but.
Yeah, we can amend the agenda. Let's just go ahead and take care of it. It won't have to be taken care of again. Do we have a motion to amend the agenda to return that car back to the police department?
I make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilman Ross Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
Thank you, Assistant Chief. We appreciate that for bringing that to our attention. Okay, anything else? Councilman Bowman, is that everything?
Well, we amended it, right? That's what we just voted on? Okay, now, I make a motion to withdraw the surplus and just return the 2019 Ford Taurus back to the police department.
Okay, we have a motion to return it back to the police department. We have a second. Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote.
Councilman Ross Patton?
Yes.
Councilman Carter?
Yes.
Councilman Abbott?
Yes.
Councilman Franklin?
Yes.
Councilman Robbins?
Yes.
It so carries. Thank you. The next thing is your financial report. If you'll look there, you've got the payroll breakdown. You also have the October report as of today with all of our accounts and the amount of money that is in each of the accounts. And as always, on the back there, you have the CD that you renewed. Right now, our CDs are not getting nearly as much money as they were. They're getting 3.8%. But at least this is money that you're saving that can be used for streets, sidewalks, or whatever that you need to do. If you'll look at the City of Florala Statement of Revenue and Expenditures, this is for the fiscal period ending 2025. It's 12 months ending September the 30th. If you will look all the way to the back, this is just for the general fund because this is where the majority of our money is spent. You can see that the total revenues for the general fund was $4,092,648.49. The total expenditures for this 12-month period was $3,753,614.35. So the total excess of revenue over expenditures for fiscal year 2024-2025 was $339,034.14. Any questions about those financial reports? Y'all did a good job with the finances. Thank y'all so much. The next thing is public comments. You can have a presented to Gail Robbins in recognition of your exceptional dedication and tireless efforts in fulfilling the position of mayor of the city of Florida from October the 9th, 2023 to November 2, 2025. Your passion, unconditional commitment, and enduring selfless service to our beloved community is greatly appreciated and will be remembered for years to come. Thank y'all. Do we have any public comments? Okay.
I'd like to say something, Jim. First of all, I want to thank you for your service. Thank the city council for their service. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. I look forward to the next administration. It's going to be a pleasure working with those guys. And in the Historical Society, thank you for everything that you do. Without you guys, the Historical Society, I couldn't do what I do. I just want to thank everyone involved. Thank you.
That is awesome.
And we appreciate you bringing business to Florida.
Yes, we do. Well, I want to end with this little thing. Council, be a blessing, be a friend, be an encourager to our citizens, be a helper to our citizens, be a council member that serves our citizens, be the caretaker of our community. Mayor-elect Burleson, you won the mayor's election by a landslide, which tells me that our community has great confidence in you as a leader. The citizens spoke, and I respect their choice. I'm thankful that I live in America, where we have the freedom to cast a vote for those that we want to serve as our leaders. I wish you and the city council great success the next 4 years. To our employees, thank you. Without you, the city couldn't function. You make the difference in our city and day-to-day operations every day. To all of you, our community, I have enjoyed fulfilling Mayor Terry Hawley's unexpired term as your mayor. It has been a challenge, but most of all, it has been a blessing to serve you. Now, lift your little pole. You are the sunny in my sunshine. You are the honey in my cup of tea. You are the sugar in that donut. You are the strength in me. You are the moon that lights my nights. You are the ones that I will miss. And I will leave you with this. God bless. You are adjourned.
DJ is raising money for the King at the WSR thing. So in 2 weeks, I will be cooking and selling ribs to raise money for him. So if anybody wants to buy some, get up and marry him on Facebook.
Hey, he's good at that.